What were some previous Devour names before you landed on Devour, and what led you to your current sound today,
Okay.
or your current sound on this album, real quick.
Well, what's crazy? I've had this sound for a while, so like I've kind of been like, I think it's just like, it's, it's, it's perfect right now. Like I've been able to like, it's not too much of like the screaming shit and like, it's bar centric. I wanted to be more bar centric, but yeah, I grew up in the Bronx in the 80s, so like I couldn't escape hip hop. Like it was literally like I grew up in the same neighborhood as Fat Joe. Like my brother went to school with Fat Joe. Like he was selling drugs in our neighborhood. My elementary. I was just watching his first music video. My elementary school was in his first video, and I was showing my daughter that. Like they would have jams and stuff like that, and then like my brother, like he is a big hip hop head, and he got me into like Big Daddy Kane and stuff like that, and like EPMD, Wu Tang, Onyx, stuff like that. And when I start listening to my own music, like getting into like my own shit, I've always just like different kinds of music. So the first things I ever got was like Tragic Kingdom by No Doubt, and ICP, Great Malenko, and Jamiroquai. That's just mad random as fuck. And then after that, I immediately got into Bone Thugs and Harmony, and then it was like 80% Bone Thugs and Harmony, and like everything that like they had around them, like Mo Thugs and everything like that. So that was the majority of what I was listening to. But then like Cannabis came along, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is like the shit my brother was really into Cannabis, but like it was, for me, it was like, this is the shit he likes, but like angrier, like tougher, like, you know what I mean? And he's saying some wild shit that like I didn't know you could rap like that at first, you know what I mean? Because it was the transition from like the 80s and stuff like that into like the 90s, and the 90s going to the 2000s. So like to see the evolution of rap literally, and then like be like, damn, that shit's crazy, I want to do that. And then listening to Bone Thugs, it was just like, yo, like I'm stuck in my brain, I'm like, I think I kind of want to do this, you know what I mean? And like I've always like written poetry and stuff like that, and like I think the first rap I ever wrote, I was 10 years old. I started like, I want to be a rapper at like 10 years old. And me and my homeboys had a crew called JVD, which is just our initials. And then and then my shit was like, JVD, we're on the roll again, and we're back again, and we're better than Brand Nubian. Like that was the shit. And we like performed it in front of his grandma and shit. But yo, I was done. After that, it was done. Like I was done. I wanted to do music, and then like as I got older, like I was into rap, and I would start battling people and stuff like that. And I was always into freestyling. And when I got to high school, I've always listened to like metal and shit like that. But like life put you where you need to be. I think, because like I applied to like different high schools. It's crazy. I applied to the same high school Nicki Minaj went to. So like I could have went to school with her, which was wild. Like, but I didn't get in. I only applied to art schools, and I definitely didn't get into any of them. And then, like my principal knew the vice principal for another art school, which was at Washington Irving, and it was like in the Village of New York. And if you know New York, the Village is like where all the weird shit happens, you know what I mean? Like it's downtown Manhattan. So like that's where like CBGB's is and shit like that. Like that's where punk rock was pretty much like created in that part of New York, you know what I mean? So like I went to school there, so that shit was just like open, like it opened my mind. And then like other people that like lived in the hood that was into like different kinds of music, I'd have to meet them. And my school was literally across the street from Irving Plaza, which is like a fucking like one of the most known like concert places in New York. So like I would hang out in front of Irving Plaza every day, and like you would see bands and shit like that. I got to meet mad people, and then we would go hang out at TRL. You know what I mean? So like I got to meet Eminem, like which is like fucking crazy as shit. Like I got to like we became friends with people. They would like let us sneak up to the front and stuff like that. Like it was just crazy. So like music was just like always around me and always pushing me. And then like I started getting into bands, and I had a bad experience battling somebody because like I was freestyling, and then him and his homeboy was like double teaming me. Pause. Like they was like saying each other's verses and shit like that. I was like, oh, whoa. Like I'm over here like thinking this shit up on the spot. Y'all niggas got a whole routine. Nah, I'm good. But I was like, I got more into bands, and like I started listening to like death metal and hardcore and stuff like that. And then I found a community in the Bronx, which is a very small community, and then it spread it out to New York, and I just was moving along in there. But I've always like rap and like freestyle and stuff like that. And the band shit didn't work out, you know what I mean? But I gathered enough tools, you know what I mean, and in my journeys to like bring it together. And then when my cousin Soleb was like, yo, you should do that screaming shit over the beat, and I'm a rap. And we made a group called Odios Mio, where I was just like using rap flows, but I was just doing like the death metal vocals. I wasn't really rapping myself, and he was doing the rap part. And that's where I was like, when you brought up Jerome, when you brought up the idea about the fusion dance with the shit in two sides, I was like, I kind of did something like that already with him, because we had a song called I don't know, I can't remember the name of the song, but I'll find out. Like, but I was like, it came in where like I'm screaming in the left ear and he's rapping in the right ear at the same time on the first verse, and on the second verse he just comes in first, and then I come in second. Pause. So like, so that was like kind of like guiding me there. But then like it kind of became like too gimmicky for me, because I was like, I want to rap too. Like that's just kind of whack. like I want to rap too. So it was like I started rapping, and then slowly mixing that in. And then like my brother, I moved to Virginia, and my brother gave me a computer that had Pro Tools on it, and then I downloaded the first Adobe edition, and I started working with that, and I was teaching myself how to record and stuff like that. And then I just happened to meet up with this producer down here named S-Type, and basically him and another producer, Pac the Kid, who was from the Bronx, we connected over, we like MC Chris, and that's like a nerdcore rapper. He's another person like MC Chris, Cannabis, and Eminem, and DMX probably are like my foundations. So like, because MC Chris was just like, talk about mundane shit, you know what I mean? And I was like, you could do that in rap? Every time I've had that epiphany, like, you could do that in rap? It was like, wow, I want to do that. Like, so you could just talk about regular, MCP. Everyday shit and still be dope?
Wasn't that like MCP Pants or whatever?
MCP Pants, yeah, and Aqua Teen Hunger, yeah. And that's how he started rapping. And then like, but he's a dope-ass rapper, though. He talks about...
Yeah, he actually does.
He was like, MC stands for Master Chief. like
MC Paul Barman.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a whole group of like nerd rappers, nerdcore. Like it's crazy. They even used to perform on like G4 and shit like that. Wow. Yeah. But like I met up with him and those two, and they just basically helped me like cultivate my sound. They was letting me rock. Like Pac was sending me beats for free, and he was learning. So like it was kind of like a trade-off, you know what I mean? Like he was learning and I was learning too. And then S-Type, he was more like, he kind of had his foot in the door, and he was bringing me along, taking me to like big studios in Virginia and shit like that, and like showing me, because he never heard anything that like what I was doing. So he helped me really like bring it together. So like a lot of my first couple of projects is just him and Pac. Like those are the only two producers on it. You know what I mean? So like they really helped me like channel it in. Especially him, because he don't care. He like, scream, nigga, scream, make some evil ass noise, like do it in the background, like